So this is Simultaneous Equations, GCSE. It's foundation slash higher topic. Okay. Mainly I've picked out some questions that are parallel for foundation and higher, especially these kind of questions, but they're kind of an examiner's favorite for both higher and foundation. Okay. So what I've done here is I've picked out three sets of questions where the standard practice for simultaneous equations, there are three different methods that we apply here. And then a word problem where you need to be able to spot that it is a simultaneous equation question, and then how would you solve it. Okay, so let's get started with the first one. So the first question here says 4x minus 5y is equals to 33, and then 3x plus y is equals to 1. You always have to look for a term where can I easily multiply the smaller term in order to get the bigger one. So can I multiply y by something to get 5y, or can I multiply 3x by something easily to get 4x? So that's not going to be easy, but that's very easy. All you have to do is times that by 5, you will get 5y. Okay, so that's first method. So you manipulate one equation in order to make one of these terms, the x or the y, match. Okay, we can do that for the y here. Okay, so this is the first one, the green one. So what would happen then? The equation becomes, the first one stays as it is, nothing, we have not changed the first one at all. The second one, whereas, will change to, so you're multiplying every term by 5. Whatever you do to one, you do to the other two as well. Okay, so that becomes 15x plus 5y is equals to 5. What we do then, we look at the signs here. Okay, if they are different sign, we add. If they are the same sign, we subtract. So same sign, subtract, different sign, add. Okay, so if this case we're going to add them because they're different signs. So 4 plus 15, you're going to end up with 19x. Minus plus cancels out. That's the whole point of this. So we wanted to get rid of one of them. We made them the same, and we're adding them because they're different signs, so we can get rid of them. Okay, and 33 plus 5, that's going to be 38. This is a one-step solving equation. So in order to get rid of the 19, what you do is you technically divide by 19 on both sides. Okay, so what you're doing is x is equals to 38 divided by 19, and the answer for x here is going to equal 2. Okay, how many times 19 goes into 38? So that's 2. Once you have that, you can either plug it into the first equation or the second equation. I'm going to choose the second one because the numbers are a bit smaller and nicer to work with. You can choose the first one or the second one, it will give you the same answer. And whichever you left, you can use that one at the end to check whether your answer is actually correct. Does it really work? So the first one is 3x plus 2y is equals to 1. So 3 bracket 2, or multiply by 2, plus y is equals to 1. So that's going to be 6 plus something has to give you 1. Well, if you either think about 6 plus what gives you 1, or you minus 6 on both sides of the equation to get rid of that, that's going to be 1 minus 6, that's going to be minus 5. Okay, so this is the value for x and this is the value for y. What you can always do is go back and plug it in here and then see if you get 33. You can do 4 times 2 minus 5 times, well, this is minus 5. You need to be able to do these negative numbers multiplication here. So that's 8 plus 25, and yes, it does give us 33, so we have done that correctly. Okay, so that's your way of checking it. Okay, check whether you've done it correctly. That's your check method. But ultimately, these two are the answers. Okay, so what I will do is on the next section, I'm going to go through the yellow and the amber and the red. Okay, so watch out for the next videos for this. So on the previous video, you've watched how to solve this one. what we're going to do is we're going to look at the second one. So each one focuses on a different set of method. Okay, so the second video here, this is on the question on yellow. So let's get started. We have 5x plus 2y is equals to 11, and then we have 4x minus 3y is equals to 18. So what we have here is again the same sort of method that you used for the first question. We're going to look for the same method here. So can I multiply 4 by something to easily get 5? I can't do that. And can I multiply 3 by something easily to get or 2 by something to get 3? I can't do that. You're starting from the lower number and seeing if you can multiply to get the bigger number. For both of these, you can't do that. And that's why we have, this is the second method. So what we have to do here is we have to multiply by each other's numbers. So here, I'm going to make y the same. You can make x the same, but it's a similar method to what we did before. We're looking for two different set of numbers. Okay, so two different signs here. So plus and a minus, that's what I'm looking for. So I want to multiply them by each other. Okay, so you're taking this term and multiplying everything by 3. So that number from the term below, what's in front of y here, we are using that to multiply this. And then you're taking this term and multiplying all of these. So taking the 2 here and multiplying everything by 2. So what would happen then? So let's multiply these out and you will see what's happening. So this is 15x plus 6y is equals to 33. And then the next one is 8x minus 6y, and that's equals to 36. Okay, so what has now happened is we have the same terms, different signs, same term. Different signs means we add them. Same signs means we subtract them. Okay, so in this case, that's why I told you here because the signs are different, so I'm going to pick that one. It's nicer to always add the numbers together. You would make less mistakes if with negatives and things like that. Okay, so if we add them together, you're going to end up with 15 plus 8, that's going to be 23x. These cancels out, that's the whole point of us adding them together. And then these terms will end up with 69. Okay, again, we're dividing by 23, so you can write it as divide by 23 here, or you can put a division sign 23. I'm showing both methods on the previous video and this one. Okay, so if you divide by 23 on both sides, you will end up with x is equals to 3. Okay, so now we have the x term. We have to go and plug the x back in to find the y. Don't use these. We made these numbers deliberately bigger. Okay, just go back to the original question and pick either of them, whichever one you want. I always tend to stick with the numbers that has smaller values here. So the first one looks like it's got smaller values, but it doesn't matter which one you pick. Try to pick the ones with that doesn't have much negatives and the numbers that looks a bit nicer. So 5x, so 5x plus 2y is equals to 11 is 5 times 3 plus 2y is equals to 11. That's 15 plus 2y is equals to 11. This is a two-step solving equation. So you need to minus the 15 on both sides. Okay, we were trying to isolate y. Whatever's furthest from y, you start getting rid of that first. So you get rid of 15 by minusing, doing the opposite. You'll end up with 2y is equals to minus 4. Careful with the negatives there. And then you would divide both sides by 2. So your final answer is going to be y is equals to minus 2. Okay, and always plug it back in to here to check if you do get 18. Okay, so 4 times 3 and then minus 3 times minus 2, which is going to become plus here. So does that give you 18? It does give us 18, so you can actually write it out and check if you get 18 or not. Okay, I'm going to do the third one in the next video, and then we'll go through how to do this one. Okay, thank you for watching. So the third question from simultaneous equation is the one below. So this is the Amber question number 3. So let's get started. So what we have here is 3x plus 2y is equals to 4, and then 4x plus 5y is equals to 17. Now the same approach is what you did with these two questions. We are looking at, can we multiply the 3x by any number to get to the 4x? No, we can't. Can we multiply the 2y by anything to get to the 5y? No, we can't as well. So then what we have to do then, we have to pick these opposite numbers. Okay, I do like to stick with the middle term to cancel out, but you can cancel the 3 as well. It doesn't matter which you're starting with as long as you make them the same. Here it doesn't matter. They're both positive terms and you have to multiply by each other. So we're going to take the 5 and times everything by 5. Okay, you can get rid of the x first, but I'm getting rid of the y first, okay? And then you take the 2 here and times everything by 2. And once you write these out, so write these equations again. So that's going to be 15x plus 10y is equals to 20. And then this one is going to be 8x plus 10y is equals to, so that's 17 times 2, which is going to be 34. Now, these two terms here, if you look at that, they are both 10y, but they are both positive 10y. So always remember, if it's same sign, then we subtract. Different sign, add. This has a nice ring to it, SSS, so it's kind of an easier way to remember it. Same sign, subtract. Opposite signs, different signs, add. Okay, so we need to subtract here. So if we subtract, so 15 minus 8, so you take away here. So 15 minus 8 is going to give us 7x. These are going to cancel out because it's 10y minus 10y. That's going to be gone. And then here, just be careful with the negative because you have 20 minus 34. 20 minus 34, you're going to end up with minus 14. Okay, take a bit of extra care when you're subtracting because there's negative numbers, or if there's already a negative term here, signs will change. So be careful with that. So divide by 7 on both sides, and then x is equals to minus 2. So that's the value of x. We now go back and plug it into this one or this one to find the value of y. As I always say, I pick the numbers that are smaller. It's easier to work with. So 3x plus 2y is equals to 4. So 3 times minus 2 plus 2y is equals to 4. That gives us minus 6 plus 2y. That's equals to 4. Two-step linear equation. In order to get rid of minus 6, what you will do is you will add 6 on both sides, and that's going to give us 2y is equals to 10. And then to get rid of the 2, you would divide by 2 on both sides. So y is equals to 5. And that is our answer for y. Do make sure to go back and plug it in here and check whether you get 17. So make sure to do 4 times minus 2 plus 5 times 5 and check whether you are getting 17. It's minus 8 plus 25. So you will get 17. Okay, do check that. So we're going to do the last one in the next video. So look out for that. Thank you for watching. So this is the last video on the simultaneous equation section. So we've done these 3 questions on the previous video. We've gone through 3 different sort of skills of how to do these questions. So the last one here is essentially a word problem on simultaneous equation. Okay. What you're looking for here is a question goes a bit like this. You have 2 sets of scenarios they give you, and they always link 2 things together. Okay, teas and coffees, popcorns and apples, or 2 different items, pens and pencils, and they will tell you a combined cost for it. Okay, so for example, 3 teas and 2 coffees have a total of 780. 5 teas and 4 coffees have a total of 1420. Work out the cost of 1 tea and 1 coffee. All we have to do is convert this into one of these, then we can solve it. So assign a letter for each of these terms. So we're going to call 3 teas as in 3 tea, and 2 coffee as in 2c is equals to 780. Okay, it's these numbers that when you look at it, it's a bit daunting for you, having seen nice whole numbers. But the maths behind it is the same, so do stick with it and then see where it goes. You will be able to get the marks even if you start off writing the expressions and you get stuck here somewhere. But these gives you marks. So 5t plus 4c, so 5 teas and 4 coffees have a total of 1420. Okay, so these are the two simultaneous equations that we're going to solve and find the value for t and find the value for c. This is essentially, believe it or not, is probably the harder part to understand. This is a simultaneous equation question and you've written that. The next is, if you're good at these questions, the same approach. So you're looking at these set of numbers, and can I take the smaller number, can I multiply this to get to the bigger one? Not easily. Can I take this and multiply something to get to the bigger one? Yes, you can. So what we're going to do here is take that and times it by 2, because you will get 4. Do the same thing for all the other terms. You just need to be careful with negatives here, but everything else is the same as what we did before. So rewrite this equation as 6t plus 4c is equals to, so do write it out. If you are struggling with multiplying, then do write it out and multiply them. The answer here is 1560. Yeah, so you're multiplying by 2, that's 0, and then 6, and then 1, and then 14, and 1, you get 15. So you can multiply it out like that if you're struggling with it, but make sure you are multiplying these correctly. And then the second term is just 5t plus 4c is equals to 1420. Now, I don't know if you remember from the last video, what it is same sign, subtract. Okay, do remember that. So if you have same signs, we're going to subtract. Be very careful when you're subtracting. So 6t minus 5t, that's t, perfect, because we'll get the answer for the price of a t straight away. 4c and 4c, when you're subtracting, that just disappears, as 4c minus 4c is nothing. And then 1560 minus 1420 starts from here, that's 0, that's going to be 4, and that's going to be 1. So the price of t is in fact 140. Okay, they will have a space for you to write it underneath. Make sure you write it in the right place. So that's the price of tea. To find the price of coffee, all you have to do is go back and plug it into one of these equations. I always stick with the numbers that are smaller to deal with, okay? So I'm going to plug it into the first one, the original one, not the one that you multiplied it, okay? Always go back to the question and stick with the original one, just in case you multiplied something wrong, or these numbers are big to deal with. So 3t is 3 times 140 plus 2c is equals to 780. So 3 times 140, that's going to give us 420. You can write it out and multiply it and check. Plus 2c is equals to 780. What we need to do here is minus 420 on both sides. Okay, so that goes away. So 2c is equals to, so if we subtract here, that's going to be 6 and that's going to be 3. Have the decimal place in the middle. And then if we divide by 2 on both sides, c, I'll write it here, c is equals to, so 360, half of it is going to be £1. £1 and 80 pence. 180, half of 360. Okay, so that's the answer. That's the price of the tea and that's the price of the coffee. You can always go back and plug it in here and see if you do get, for 5 teas and 4 coffees, do you actually get £14 and 20 pence. Okay, but these are the final answers. Thank you for watching the videos.